Chris and I are great believers. And why am I saying it to them when I'm talking to you? Chris, you and I are great believers.
Yes, we are.
We're great believers in modeling as close to the source as possible. And that's why, I only did an evening training with Richard Bandler, but we brought Dr. John Grinder to Toronto twice to do trainings and to study from the man who was the co-founder of NLP was phenomenal. To be able to roll on the freaking mat with Hickson Gracie, arguably the greatest fighter in history. You want to get close to the source, as close as possible. So Chris is only 1 degree of separation from John Grinder because he trained with me.
And you're only 1 degree of separation from Milton Erickson because you trained with John Grinder.
And you're only 1 degree of separation from Elon Musk because you own 2 Teslas.
Car, yeah.
You own a fleet of Teslas.
So
which you're breaking down, by the way.
And that actually makes a lot of sense. In fact, if you think about hypnosis, when we talk about Ericksonian hypnosis or direct style Elmanian, Dave Elman based in your face,
Esther
authoritative,
Brooks, Gilboyne,
all of this stuff is based on modeling. When you pick up a book, I'm hitting my microphone. When you pick up a book on hypnosis, the Dave Elman's Hypnotherapy, for example, you're learning how to model his approach. When you read Ericksonian transcripts that are examples of Erickson's actual sessions with clients, you're learning how to model his approach to language. Or when you read the analysis that Grinder and Bandler put into Erickson's work, you're learning their interpretation because they modeled directly him. So you're picking it up a little bit indirectly there. So there's all these ways. What else? Where are we going here with this?
Well, the thing is, you've got to find someone you're going to model first. And if you can interview them directly, all the better, but you don't have to. And part of this, I've said for years, since 1993, when I did my first, 1992, I did my first brain software lecture in Nova Scotia on what's the beautiful island?
Cape Breton Island?
Cape Breton Island. First time I'd been there. I've only been there twice. Did a lecture there. And back then, I was talking about the whole aspect of when you're modeling something, you can go to source, but you can also read biographies.
Yeah.
And when you read an autobiography, especially, you're getting the thoughts and feelings of the person. It doesn't matter who the autobiography is. Well, biography will still work. Could be, I say, Mother Teresa to Norman Schwarzkopf. It doesn't matter. You're getting a lot of stuff direct from source with that. Yeah. And it helps you build in key sets into your life, skill sets.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, that the autobiography, if you can read it, it's written directly, that's hence the name, by the author.
Oh, you like to listen to them?
Yeah, I like to listen to them, but I'm thinking about I haven't read a lot of autobiographies, but for example, biographies, the book I think it's just called Elon Musk. It was written by Ashley Vance. Very interesting story about how he formed SpaceX and all these other things. But he himself, Elon Musk, would dispute several of the facts going, oh, that's not quite right. So if you had it written by him or Steve Jobs writing his own instead of Walter Isaacson's version of it, you're getting closer to the source. So as close to the source as possible is one of those first principles, I suppose, in modeling.
Now that's interesting. And it was illustrated beautifully in a Woody Allen film where he's in line outside a movie theater. And some guy's spouting off about Marshall McLuhan and everything, the Canadian information scientist, and arguing with Woody Allen. And he says, well, you're right, completely wrong. I just happen to have Marshall McLuhan here. And he steps into the line and Marshall McLuhan says, you don't understand my ideas at all. You've completely got it wrong. And he looks at the camera, he says to him, don't you wish life was like that? That's going right to source.